I do have announcements.
Pardon?
I do have some compliance.
You do have some what?
Compliance.
There are some announcements when we get there.
1 second.
Yeah.
All right, I will now call to order the special magistrate proceedings for the city of Daytona Beach for August 13, 2024. At the outset, I've read and reviewed and approved the July 9, 2024 minutes. Now, do we have any announcements before we proceed any further?
Yes, sir. I have a few compliance.
Yes, ma'am.
Starting on page 3, case number 6, SMG 08-24-140, Magnolia Avenue parcel, is compliance 8624. Case number 7, SMG 08-24-141, 522 George Street, is in compliance 8524. Same page, case number 8, SMG 07-24-108, 531 South Street, is in compliance 8724.
Hang on a second, which one is that now?
Case number 8, 6, 7, and 8.
Sorry, I'm on page 8. Case number 8.
Yeah, same page.
Okay. Very good.
Compliance 8724. Page number 4, case number 12, SMG 07-24-107, 732 Edward Street, is in compliance 8524. And page number 6, case number 17, SMG 09-22-279, 1260 North Atlantic Avenue, is in compliance 73024. That's it. That's all of them.
All right, will all those representatives for the city of Daytona Beach who will be testifying at this morning's proceedings please stand and be sworn?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Thank you.
All right, I have a question. Case number 17 is in compliance. Americano Beach Lodge Resort Condominium. Did they replace their seawall?
I'm sorry.
Yes, Americano, case number 17, peeling paint, dilapidated seawall. We've been dealing with it since 2022.
Yes,
They're in compliance?
they are.
Meaning what? They've got a new seawall out?
Yes, they have a new seawall and they've patched and repaired the part that was existing. Now, they still have other issues on the site that are being taken care of, like landscaping, but those aren't part of this case.
As I recall, they had an existing seawall, then they had like a seawall extension, which appeared to extend across the front of the parking lot, and that was destroyed too, so they now have a a functional seawall.
Yes, sir. And it has a finalized permit.
Wow, that's a milestone. Thank you. Okay. Case number 1, Ashley Marie Gilbert. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent. What say our inspector?
Good morning, Inspector Bostwick. Credentials on file with the city. All right, this case was field generated, opened on June 13th, 2024. Had multiple vehicles parked on a vacant lot, outside storage, and overgrown lot. First notification was on June 13th. Property was posted. Compliance was due by June 24th. Last day of reinspection was August 8th. Result, non-compliance. I was able to speak with the owner's mom on August the 12th. The daughter's in South Dakota. She'll be back on the 14th to move the vehicles and clean everything up. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Okay, noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 4, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 2, JPL Investment Corporation. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was field generated, opened on May 9th of 2024, overgrown vacant lot and vehicles parked on a vacant lot. First notification was on June 15th of 2024. Compliance was due by June 25th of 2024. Last day of reinspection was August 9th. Result, non-compliance. There's been no contact from the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon the testimony of the inspector and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 4, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 3, Rosalie Riley. Is there anyone here for the respondent? What say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on July 1st of 2024, overgrown a vacant lot, trash and debris. First notification was on July 1st, property was posted, compliance was due by July the 12th. Last day of reinspection was August 8th, result, non-compliance. There's been no contact from the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented,
Code and eligibility, you may qualify for a certain Medicare Advantage decent plan that may include a prepaid spending card loaded with at least 21.
I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 4, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 4, Norman Riley. That sounds like a familiar name for some reason.
It is. He's deceased. But,
He is.
But historically, we dealt with him numerous times over the decade.
He's come back to haunt us.
So, Rosalie is his daughter, I believe.
That's correct.
In any event, not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this case was field generated, opened on July 1st of 2024, overgrown vacant lot, trash and debris. First notification was on July 1st, property was posted. Compliance was due by July 12th. Last day of reinspection was August 8th, result non-compliance. There's been no contact from the owner, he's deceased. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon the inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 4, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 5, Homemade Contractors, LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This case was field generated, opened on May 17th of 2024, overgrown vacant lot, trash and debris. First notification was on July 2nd, property was posted. Compliance was due by July the 12th. Last day of reinspection was August 8th, result, non-compliance. I've been in contact with the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon the inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by September 4, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Cases 6, 7, and 8 are in compliance. That brings us to case 9. Good morning.
Good morning.
Trustee LLC trustee for the 228 North Adams Street Land Trust dated April 20, 2018. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Inspector Aubriana Itani, Code Compliance Controls on File. Respondent was first notified on May 6, 2024. Since the last hearing, there's been no contact with the owner. There has been no progress to the property. Staff is recommending a fine of $200 a day at a cap of $15,000.
Okay, have we had any contact with the owner at all?
No.
Okay. And what was the fine that the city was recommending?
$200 a day, a cap of $15,000.
Noting the absence of the respondent, our order of noncompliance entered a month ago, in the absence of any compliance whatsoever, I am fining the respondent the sum of $200 per day, effective August 8, 2024, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until such time as the property is in compliance or the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000. Case number 10, Denise T. Diabato. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Folks, if you would please state your names and be sworn.
Denise D'Abato.
Mike Manderville.
Sorry, say your last name again, sir.
Manderville?
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
This matter is here for the imposition of a fine, so let's hear from the city first. Mr. Inspector?
All right, Inspector Curtis Wiggins, Code Compliance, credentials on file. Respondent was first notified of violation February the 11th, 2023. Since the last hearing, there was an inspection by the building department. It passed, and so I have had contact with the owner. So the staff recommends that we amend to the next cutoff.
When you say it passed, does that mean they're in compliance or they're?
No,
Still
the work
working
is,
away.
they're still working, and they came out and did it inspections, and it passed. Part of that,
Okay.
that building that they're
I
building
think they
there.
ought to be able to wrap it up by September 4th.
I think so.
Can we go to the next cutoff after that? Because I think there's going to be odds and ends that they're going to have to wrap up. I mean,
What
we
odds
just,
and ends?
they were off, like, the week we had the storm.
First off, who are you?
I'm a fiance.
Okay. I
Yeah.
just didn't know if maybe you were a contractor.
No.
All right, go ahead.
But for the week they were for the storm, they were off during the storm or whatever. They took off like a week, the workers. And then you could see that load of materials that is right there. That took like a week and a half to get. That's the deck boards, and that just arrived this Thursday. So they weren't working for a little
So
while.
what's left to be done in the way of work?
They still have to build the stair framing. They're gonna have to do, you can see where there's siding removed and stuff and flashing. So there's, where the siding pieces and the trim pieces are gonna have to be put on, some of the brickwork underneath the deck on the top. There's that, like, when they get the deck boards and stuff, so there's like, I just figure it's gonna be
You
a
doing
little
this
bit,
yourself, or do you have a contractor?
no, there's a contractor.
Who's the contractor?
Steve Van Arnhem?
Okay, and so you're thinking it might take the contractor longer than September 4th?
Yes, yeah.
Mr. Inspector, are you satisfied with the effort to date?
Yeah, I agree with him.
All right, then I'll go ahead and amend our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until October 2, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. All right,
All right,
good luck.
thank
to
you.
If you run into a hitch,
Thanks.
let your inspector know what's going on.
Okay,
If you run out of time, he might be your best friend.
okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Case number 11, GEA Seaside Investments Incorporated. Anyone here for the respondent?
All
The
right.
respondent, what say the city?
All right. Respondent was first notified of violation March 22nd, 2024. Since the last hearing, no progress was made. I've had no contact with the owner, so the staff recommend a fine of $100 a day to a cap of $15,000.
Peeling paint, west side of building, damaged window ledges, and debris, remove garbage container from right-of-way, no rental license. Have any of these things been attended to?
Not at this point. Like I said,
And you've had no communication from the owner?
at all.
Why are we only asking for $100 a day?
Well, we can go 200. 200 a day.
Well, I just don't understand why this owner hasn't even had the courtesy of calling at least, or maybe just getting the garbage container out of the right-of-way.
Right.
All right. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I'm finding the respondent the sum of $150 per day. Commencing August 8, 2024, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until such time as the property is in compliance or the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000. Case number 12 is in compliance. Case number 13, 709 Butler LLC. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Yes, ma'am, if you would please state your name and be sworn.
Victoria Worth.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Your last
Thank you.
name again?
Worth.
Worth. And your affiliation with 709 Butler LLC?
Property manager.
Yes, sir.
Inspector Stinson is out today, so we're asking to amend the case till next month.
Well, and that's fine. I do have all of the pictures and everything where everything's done, other than the hot water heater. It'll be installed tomorrow, pending the permit.
All right, well, it sounds like you're well underway then. All right, so what was the request, just to continue this to the
To amend to the next cutoff, please.
amend? Okay, we're talking two different things. Am I just continuing this, or am I amending the current order of noncompliance to the next cutoff?
We're amending.
Hold it. Victoria Worth, case 13. All right, let's catch up here, David. Affidavit. Okay, so am I just moving this meeting to the next meeting, or am I amending the current order of noncompliance?
We will amend.
Okay, the current order of noncompliance. All right, you understand what's going on?
No.
All right, well, they would prefer that Mr. Stenson be here.
Okay.
Because he's your inspector. And just so we can wrap it up with the people that have been involved from the outset. And we're agreeing to amend your order of noncompliance to allow you now until September 4, 24 to come into compliance. And since you tell me you're all but done, I assume that's a no-brainer for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, then based on the stipulation of the parties, I will amend our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until September 4, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Good luck to you.
And Ms. McCutcheon, if I can just, he probably did what I was going to do, which is tell us to stay in contact.
Case number 14, Elephant Group Hotel 7 Incorporated. Is there
That is
anyone
in compliance as of August 9th.
here? Very good. Case number 15, Kumaresan Natarajan and Uma Shankari Savanthanavelu. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Did I do any good with that at all? You
Long names.
recognized it,
It's
Marge?
hard.
Barely?
Yeah, it's Uma Shankari Santanavelu.
Again,
Sounded a lot better coming from you.
Again, this is Inspector Stinson's case.
Okay, so you would like to continue it or extend the cutoff date?
Amend to the next cutoff?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, all the fixes needed is done. Just need to get inspection done.
Very good. All right, well, once again, as you probably heard me say to your predecessor, we would like Mr. Stenson to be here so that the parties who have been involved throughout can finish it out. And so what the city's proposing to do is to amend your order of noncompliance, giving you to the next cutoff to come into compliance.
Okay.
And again, since it sounds like you're all but done, that sounds like a viable plan. Do you have any objection to that?
No
I
objection.
wouldn't think so. All right, again,
Thank you.
pursuant to the stipulation of the parties, I will order the current order of noncompliance be amended to allow the respondent to September 4, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Good luck to you. Case number 16, Virgil and Ellen Rosenfeld Family Trust, dated June 22, 2005. Ellen Rosenfeld as trustee. Is there anyone here on behalf of the respondent? I see once again, Mr. Stenson is the inspector.
We'll continue.
Are we hearing this or continuing it?
Continuing.
All right. At the request of the City of Daytona Beach, I will continue this matter to our September 10, 2024 meeting. Case number 17 is in compliance. Case number 18, Daytona Beach Resort LLC and Daytona Beach Resort and Conference Center Condominium Association Incorporated. You behind the boards, do we have anybody attending via Zoom? Okay. Thought we would.
Me too.
Yes, ma'am, if you would please state your name.
Yes, Leanne Wagner, counsel for the Condominium Association.
All right, this matter is here for the imposition of a fine. So let's hear from our inspector.
All right, now at this hearing, we should have had Daytona Beach Resort LLC2 present as well. They're the ones who were supposed to have started construction. Unfortunately, this case,
Started construction on what?
the garage.
Okay. And the garage was a multitude of things to be done.
Correct.
All right, go ahead.
They were first notified November 6, 2021. Since the last hearing, I have had no contact with them and no progress on the garage.
Okay, hang on. Why have they dropped out of the picture? Why are we not hearing from them?
I have no idea.
Why have they dropped out of the picture? Why are we not hearing from them?
We are in settlement discussions to try to resolve the dispute between the parties, so they may be just kind of waiting that out to see what happens there. But I don't really know why else.
All right, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Under the conditions that we've had no progress and no contact, we would like to ask for a fine of $500 a day to a maximum of $20,000.
And for my edification, what have they not done that would warrant $500 a day? What are the things they're not attending to?
They have a dilapidated garage that has not been repaired since 2021. We have walked them through every step of this and attempted to do everything we can, from walking the entire building and pointing out every single issue to multiple hearings with you. And to this day, repairs have not started.
Do they have a contractor to do the work?
They do. And they had gotten a permit, but nothing has started.
So they have a contractor and they have a permit. And that's where it stops.
Yes, and they had over a month and a half of those two things. And
What now?
a month and a half of contract and permit, but no work and no reason why.
And no communication.
Correct.
All right, what else were they supposed to be doing? Garage it.
Just the garage.
And the garage, as I recall, was a pretty massive undertaking.
Absolutely. Well, according to them, as far as what repairs needed to be done, we left that to them, and they said that they would be quite massive, yes.
Well, I don't know that it would be appropriate for me to inquire into what these settlement conversations are. My only interest would be to what extent they address the garage, but again, I don't know that that would be appropriate for me to inquire into. So consequently, then, I am left with no input whatsoever regarding what their intentions are, only the fact that they're in violation of a very big project that we've been working on for a long time. And from the record that I have before me, there's no excuse for them not starting work. Therefore, we're talking Daytona Beach Resort LLC
2, yeah.
2. We're not talking about Daytona Beach Resort and Conference Center Condominium Association.
Correct, who has another compliance date next month with you on their balcony work.
Okay. I am hereby fining Daytona Beach Resort LLC 2 based upon the testimony of our inspector, the photographs presented, the absence of the respondent, the sum of $500 per day, commencing August 8, 2024, and continuing each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $20,000 or the property or the respondent comes into compliance. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir?
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Case number 19, Lauren and Herb Kawesh. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Good morning, Mr. Kawesh.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
You would please state your name and be sworn.
Okay, I can't raise my right hand, but my name is Herbert Cowish.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, I have the action to be taken to possibly establish a compliance date and that permits for the remaining violations by August 7th. So that's as much as I know about this. So let's hear from our inspector.
They were first notified May 23rd, 2022. Since the last hearing, I have had contact, and unfortunately, the contractor on the job, Steve Weaver, has passed. So the city's requesting that we amend to the next hearing to allow Mr. Cowish additional time to contract with a new GC and develop plans.
What say Mr. Kawesh to that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so I am continuing this matter to our September 10 meeting, and in the interim, Mr. Kawesh is to locate another contractor.
Yes, sir, and get under contract.
And at the next meeting, we're hoping to establish a compliance date, and we need those permits.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I will continue this matter as it currently stands to the September 2024 meeting in accordance with the stipulation of the parties. Good luck, Mr. Kawesh.
Thank you very much.
Case number 20, Shirag Ranitabai Patel. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent. Let's say the city.
Once again, Inspector Bostwick with the City of Daytona Beach, credentials on file. Our respondent was first notified on June 3rd of 2024. Since last month's hearing, there's been no progress or contact. Staff requests a fine of $250 a day with a max fine of $15,000.
Had any communication with the owner?
No, sir.
All right. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of our inspector and the photographs presented, as well as our order of noncompliance, I am now fining the respondent the sum of $250 per day, commencing August 8, 2024, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000 or the property is in compliance. Case number 21, Joshua Lee Swift. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Respondent was first notified on June 3rd of 2024. Since last month's hearing, there's been no progress or contact. Staff requests a fine of $250 a day with a max fine of $15,000.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of our inspector and the photographs presented, as well as the current order of noncompliance, I'm fining the respondent the sum, what was the amount of the fine sought?
$250 a day.
$250 per day, commencing August 8, 2024, until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000, which will continue to accrue each day thereafter until such time as the property is brought in compliance or the amount of the fine reaches the sum of $15,000. Case number 22, Verona V. LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, respondent was first notified on April 29th of 2024. Since last month's hearing, there's been no contact or progress. Staff requests a fine of $250 a day with a max fine of $15,000.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon the inspector's testimony and photographs presented, as well as our current order of noncompliance, I am fining the respondent the sum of $250 per day commencing August 8, 2024, and the amount of the fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the property is in compliance or the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000. Case number 23, Christine Anderson and Alice Robinson. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
The respondent was first notified on May 7th of 2024. Since last month's hearing, there's been no progress or contact. Staff requests a fine of $250 a day with a max fine of $15,000.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, as well as our current order of noncompliance, I'm fining the respondent the sum of $250 commencing August 8, 2024. The fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000 or the property is brought into compliance. Case number 24, Crystal One LLC. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, respondent was first notified on May 9th of 2024. Since last month's hearing, there's been no progress or contact. Staff requests a fine of $250 a day with a max fine of $15,000.
Noting the absence of the respondent based upon the inspector's testimony, as well as the photographs presented and our current order of noncompliance, I'm fining the respondent the sum of $250 per day commencing August 8, 2024. Fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the property is brought into compliance or the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $15,000. Case number 25, Michael D. Eady and Julie A. Herbart Eady. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, we're here for a progress report. All right, so I've been in contact with both Michael and his wife on a weekly basis. The city and County of Volusia has agreed to combine the vacant parcel with their house that was next to them. So now they were able to get the permit for the wall, accessory wall that they were putting up. Okay, so at this point, staff would like to amend to the October cutoff to give them time to finish the project.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It won't be an amendment, it'll be set a compliance date for August.
October.
I mean, for September. You said September?
October.
For the October date.
So It sounds as though pursuant to the stipulation of the parties, I'm amending our current order of noncompliance to extend compliance to October 2, 2024.
Correct.
So sound like, I'm not sure we have a current order of noncompliance.
Dated April 12, 2024.
Oh, I see a current order of noncompliance, okay. Oh, no order to no compliance date. Yeah, I don't think we had a compliance date. So it wouldn't be an amendment, it would be to set a compliance date. We have an order finding noncompliance, but I don't believe we set a compliance date.
Okay, I guess this is a different case I've got here. This is case, I'm looking at an order in SMG 042479, and that is not 0724-121, although it is the same respondents. So we don't have an order of noncompliance?
The order I'm looking for is an order of noncompliance, but the orders for the case to be continued to the May 14, 2024 meeting. That's the most current order I'm showing. I have to ask the administrative secretary to
Yes.
check that.
I believe what he's saying is that we still amend that order to add the compliance date, so it's still an amended order. I would be adding the compliance date to that order of noncompliance.
But we're not amending the compliance date.
No. We're just amending the order
An amended
to
order
add
of
the compliance date.
noncompliance.
Right.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I've lost track of, when are we extending it to?
October.
Give them till October to make sure they have enough time to finish the project.
Very good. Okay, based upon the report of our inspector, I will amend our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until October 2, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Case number 26, Argogio LLC. Is there anyone here for the respondent? Yes, sir. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
My name's Vern Weatherholtz. I live at 3 Granville Circle, Daytona Beach, and I was a party to the
I'm sorry, sir. I need
complaint.
your name again.
Vernon Weatherholtz, Weatherholtz.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right. Hold on, Mr. Weatherholtz. Your affiliation with Argogio LLC?
When I came up with her, I spoke at the June hearing. I'm a general contractor, and I agreed upon signing a contract with her and getting this project done and resolved. She had a non-compliance with doing work with no permit. And so I was resolved, like I say, to sign the contract, get that resolved, and get the proposals and finish the project. I have had no correspondence with the owner for in excess of a week. I told her, the upcoming things that we needed to get the permit to get this resolved. Last week, I took the inspector in. I let him in. I still have a key. And in front of you are the pictures that he took in the building that no more work has been done since.
That no more work has been.
No work has been done.
So your pictures are confirming that no more work has been done.
No work has been done since I've been involved in it.
Okay. All right, this matter is here for the imposition of a fine. Let's see if our inspector can help us give a put this in perspective here. What's going on, Mr. Inspector?
Mark Jones, Field Supervisor. My credentials are on file with the city. The respondent was first notified back in February 2nd of 2024. Since the last hearing on June 11th, I've had no contact with the property owner. I was able to meet Mr. Weatherholtz, who was able to let me into the property. I've also been in communication with the permit department. All this demolition work was done without a permit. The city is saying a permit is required and they need to come in and inspect. As we've had no contact and the work was done without a permit, the staff is recommending a fine of $200 a day with a cap of $20,000.
Okay, let's back up here. Was a stop work order issued?
Yes.
Okay. So what brought this property to the city's attention to begin with?
I don't have that in front of me. This was Inspector Alterman's original case. I'd have to, I don't know
That's all right.
whether it was field verified, field generated or not.
Well, regardless of how the city finds out, if the city finds out construction's underway, the city's aware there are no permits at this location. City inspects the property and sees, yes, in fact, construction work is underway and issues a stop work order.
Correct?
Okay.
And the property was then posted
Posted for what?
for the violation notice.
Okay. So at that point, she's on notice that the city is upset.
Correct. And she
And
was,
you're hired.
Yes, sir. Let me take it from here. So then, like I say, I spoke for her at the meeting.
Remember?
This is a little unprecedented for me. Since I spoke, said that I would take care of it. We did sign a contract with myself and the owner. And per my contract, it was so much per hour getting the permit and all the proposals. I have all of the proposals to finish the job, but I have not been paid.
Okay.
So I run up a bill of almost $5,000, and she's not responding.
That's not cool. Okay, so we're back in non-complianceville.
correct. And as
We're back in non-complianceville with her staring at an order of non-compliance, telling her to be in compliance by August 7th.
and she was present at the June 11th hearing when that.
She's not here now.
No, I've had no contact with her since that hearing when she was here.
She's an out-of-state resident. She lives in California, and I haven't had any contact with her. Also,
I don't know if they've extended the phone lines all the way to California yet. It's a long ways away.
Well, it's I text her. I've sent her bills. I've tried to get her to
What
contact.
was compliance supposed to look like come August 7th? What was she just to obtain permits?
No, she was to get a permit for the demolition work. It would be an after-the-fact permit because the demolition was already done. And then the building department would have come out and inspected what they did, how they did their demolition. And I've been in communication with the building department just to reconfirm that they would need to be out there to inspect it. And they said, yes, once a permit is applied for, because the work that was done definitely required a permit. Because they completely gutted the
Did you obtain an
interior.
estimate for her for demolition? Was that part of your job?
Yes. The only thing that, like I say, needed to be the permit and to pay me for getting the permit. And she did not.
Well, that's yours and her business. That's none of our.
Oh, I totally agree. The only reason I'm up here to make it.
Yeah, I understand. I appreciate you being here. At least you shed some light on what's going on. Okay, so what is the relief the city's looking for?
$200 a day with a cap of $20,000.
Based upon the testimony of our inspector and the photographs presented, in consideration of our order of noncompliance, which the respondent has failed to comply with, I'm fining the respondent the sum of, how much did you say?
$200.
200 hours per day commencing August 8, 2024, to a maximum of what?
$20,000.
And that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $20,000 or the property is in compliance.
Correct.
Very good. All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Case number 27, Sussmans Incorporated. Anyone here for the respondent? What say the city?
This is here for a progress report. I did talk with the property owner who has been attending the meetings, and due to some religious reasons to be here today. But I am here able to give a progress report because I did, the property owner did come in, explained the problems he was having with this building. He had a roofing permit when we met the last time, but when the roofer went up, they realized there were some structural issues with the roof framing. Another contractor has already applied for the structural framing permit. It's under review. The staff would like to amend that we amend the compliance date to the October cutoff.
All right, based upon the report of the inspector, I will amend our amended order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until October 2, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 28, RE Equity Investment Group LLC and JJ Equity LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent. What say the city?
The respondent was first notified on July 7th, 2023. Since last hearing, I have met with the owners and was given a tour of the building. The roof has passed final inspection. There has been progress inspections on the electric, plumbing, and insulation. Drywall was presently being installed, waiting for a screw inspection. And the majority of the windows have been installed and inspected, with the exception of a revision that the city required to raise four of the windows up to the hillside, to the height of the sill. Staff recommends a progress report at the October hearing.
What are we converting this thing into?
It's going to be apartments. And they've done some extensive work. Some of the apartments have lofts. It's a two-story building that they then raised the height of it to add for the second floor apartments for the lofts. They're really doing a lot of work. When I was there was probably approximately 30 workers on site working between doing stucco work, drywall. You can see there on that picture, they're in the process of patching the exterior drywall and restuccoing it.
Okay. Extend it to when now?
I'd like to recommend a progress report for the October hearing.
Okay. Based upon the report of our inspectors, I will schedule this matter for our October 8, 2024 meeting for another progress report.
Can I ask you guys to go back to 27 and give me the report on that one?
On 27, I had requested amending to the October cutoff.
October, okay, thank you.
Did I enter an order?
Yes, I missed it.
Okay.
You did. It just sounded like we were doing a progress report, but I noticed that you did
He amended it to October.
amend it. So that's what was the main
27
main
was
plan.
for the imposition of a fine.
Yes, I'm clarified.
Okay.
I got it.
So that I'm clear. So 28, we're just moving to our October meeting. 27, we amended our order to extend it to the October cutoff.
Thank you.
All right. Did I
we
not
could,
see an
sir.
additional case?
We have additional case, yeah.
Here we go. Case number 29. Covenant Community Development Corporation of Florida, LLC. Is there anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Not seeing a respondent. What say the city?
Respondent was first notified on April 5th, 2024. At last hearing, respondent was ordered to secure the building to city standards, remove all trash and debris, maintain the exterior walls, and maintain the landscaping by August cutoff, and then by August 7th, 2024, and then to return at the September hearing, or October hearing, excuse me, for a discussion on the roof. I contacted the owner on August 1st to let him know the property was still not in compliance. The AC units have been removed and the openings closed up, but there is a window that's not secure to city standards. There is still trash and debris. The exterior of the building has not been maintained, nor has the landscaping. Staff is recommending a fine of $250 a day with a cap of $20,000.
Based upon our inspector's testimony, as well as the photographs presented, and our order of noncompliance, I am fining the respondent the sum of $250 per day, commencing August 8, 2024. And that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $20,000 or the property is brought into compliance. All right, I believe that now brings us to lien review number 1. Donald Moore, 732 Mason Avenue.
Donald Moore, owner.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, we have an order imposing fine lien effective May 30, 2023, $200 a day. Second order. So, how many orders are we dealing with here? 2? 2 orders totaling $17,024?
Yes.
Yes,
All right. Has there been any discussion between the parties?
there has been discussion but no agreement.
Okay. All right, Mr. Moore?
Thank you for your time today. I wanted you to hear my side of it because this wasn't a case that I wasn't trying to be compliant or that I was evading Inspector Aldred. The issue was I was out of town when he was trying to get a hold of me, and even when Ms. Reno had sent the certified letter, it was sent back to her because it never reached me. So the problem that the city was trying to get with me about, I didn't know about because I was out of town. When I returned to town, Mr. Alderman was on vacation back at his home state of Oregon. So there was a period there that we were not in contact. When I did get in contact with Mr. Alderman, I did hire a licensed electrical contractor. He did pull a permit, and I hired a residential contractor for the rotten wood, and we pulled a permit on that, and we did repair everything. At that point, on my final inspections, I considered the matter done. I didn't realize that there was a lien until there was a deed search for a mortgage recently. So I'm going about my business normally every day, not knowing that there's a lien on my property that is accruing every day. And so I just wanted the special magistrate to hear my side of the situation here because I know that Inspector Alderman is no longer with the city. However, I have dealt with Inspector Roosevelt in the past, and he will tell you that I have always been very available, and I've always taken care of things that he's asked me to take care of. And so that's why I'm here to ask for a reduction, because when I came in for the meeting, I didn't feel like we could come to terms. I mean, we did come to terms, but then after I thought about it, I thought that's a lot for something that I truly wasn't aware of. And, you know, I've been a good steward on that property. That property was, I know firsthand because I worked for Daytona Beach Fire Department, and I used to respond to that property before I owned it multiple times a week. The call volume there between PD and the fire department was astronomical. And when I took the property over, I cleaned out all of the homeless squatters that were there. And since I've been there since 2015. I've owned it for 3 years, but I actually rented it from 2015. And since I've been there, the only time the police are on my property is when live PD comes rolling through there to chase somebody that jumped out of a car and they're running from them. So I'm asking for I know there's cost, and I'm asking for a reduction to the administrative fees.
At what point did you have the notice of violation in hand?
I don't have the exact date of that, but it was.
My point is, what did you need alderman for? Wasn't the notice of violation self-explanatory?
I had a notice to contact him, and I called and didn't get a response. And then when I did get a response, he said he was on vacation. And the lag between fixing the life safety code was simply getting an electrician that would actually come out there and do that.
All right, what say the city?
The respondent was first notified on March 2nd, 2023. The first notice of violation was posted on the property because it came back undeliverable. And it was a detailed,
What does that mean?
the post office, that's what the post office said. That is not unusual.
Was it sent to 732 Mason Avenue?
It was sent to the property appraiser's address, which would have been, excuse me, 732 Mason Avenue.
Okay, and what was the status of 732 Mason Avenue? Okay, what was the problem getting notice?
I wasn't there. I was out of town. I was in Spain or I was in North Carolina, one of the two. I was out of town for an extended period of time.
So you were out of town, all right? Do we know about when service was attempted the first time?
Yes, hold on. First notice was back in February 28th, 2023, and then the property was posted on February 2nd. Excuse me, I got those dates wrong.
It's mailed in February of 23. The property was posted in March of 23.
It was, excuse me, it was originally sent on February 28th, and then it was posted on March 2nd.
Yep.
And it was a complete detailed violation, showing all, giving detail of what was
And where
required.
were you at the time?
At that time, I was probably in North Carolina.
The property was again posted for the hearing notice. It was mailed out and again came back, and the hearing notice was posted on the property on April 22nd, 2024.
Okay, I'm looking at the notice of violation. It says no permit, flat roof. Was that taken care of?
I don't recall any violation of a no permit for flat roof, and we did a repair on the roof.
I'm looking at the notice of violation. Description of violation, no permit, parens, flat roof. Peeling paint, parens, overhangs fascia. Rotted walls on accessory structure and main office. hazardous power meter and pole, damaged fencing. My question is whether all those things were attended to.
My understanding with, and this is just my understanding, was the flat roof, you did a repair on it?
I did a repair on the
Not
flat
require a
roof.
permit.
Okay, so the flat roof was attended to. How about the peeling paint?
All of the buildings have been painted, and your photos that are rolling through show that. All of the rotten wood was replaced. All of the buildings were painted.
And the hazardous power meter and pole was attended to?
Yes, sir, and I have the permit for the rotten wood.
Damaged fencing was fixed.
Yes, that fencing was actually,
Am I reading this correctly? Date of first notification is March 2 of 2023. And the affidavit of compliance is August 7, 2023? I have those dates right?
I'm sorry, I missed.
Date of first notification was March 2, 2023. I think you just mentioned that.
Correct.
And I'm looking at an affidavit of compliance of August 7, 2023.
I have a final inspection on the permit card of July 24th, 2023.
Yes, if I could continue, sir. When you ordered on May 9th, 2023, and found the property in noncompliance, you ordered the electrical safety issue be brought into compliance within 10 days, which would have been May 19th, and the remainder of the violations be in completion June 7th, 2023. The application for the electrical repair was not submitted until July 20th, and it was then finalized on July 24th. The remainder of the violations came into compliance on August 7th, 2024. Going through Inspector Alterman's notes, on May 10th, Mr. Alterman talked with the Secretary of PSP and asked if they knew that they had the hearing, and asked for Mr. Moore to call him back. On May 12th, Inspector Alterman again called and talked to the Secretary and explained the need to get the electrical issue corrected as soon as possible. Inspector Alderman talked with Mr. Moore on May 15th regarding the electrical issue and the remainder of the issue, and per Inspector Alderman's notes, they even discussed possibly doing some demolition. So I believe that there was communication. We posted the property for the original notice of violation. We posted the property for the hearing. There was a secretary on present, at least answered the phones. I'm not sure if she was on location or not, but she should have been able to see the notices and get that information to Mr. Moore.
Mr. Vacalja, based on, I mean, we satisfied the notice requirements pursuant to the statute, and I'm not, the fact that he was not there or didn't have anyone else pulling his
Was the property
mail.
occupied?
Currently, it's not.
23?
Currently, it's not occupied.
Was this property occupied in March of 2023?
No, sir, because the office was moved to my secretary's home due to damage from the hurricane, so it was no longer occupied as our offices.
Well, what I was going to say, Mr. Vacalja, as the respondent mentioned, they did meet, they did come to an amount, but then he just changed his mind. He felt the desire not to proceed
That's none of
on
my
that amount.
business. Okay. I'll agree to reduce the fine and the lien to the sum of $2,500, subject to being paid within 30 days. And just for your edification, the $2,500 has to do with the life safety issue that wasn't attended to.
Yes, sir.
I understand you may not have been around, but to be honest, I don't care. It's your property. It was a life safety issue. You, as a fireman, would know better than anybody that that's a recipe for disaster right there.
Absolutely.
Nothing happened. Happy to hear it. And it appears as though you attended to it once everybody was on board. So all things taken into consideration, I'll agree to reduce the two fines and liens to a total amount of $2,500, subject to being paid within 30 days. If it's not paid within 30 days, it stays the way it is.
Will I get some paperwork on how to pay that today?
You can contact our secretary. She'll tell you how to pay it.
Perfect.
And then you can follow up with our attorney with regard to the filing of satisfactions or whatever they do, or the secretary with regard to satisfactions of the lien.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir.
Good luck to you.
Have a good day.
Lien Review 2,
email you.
Ramon A. and Cassandra F. Culver, Arlinda C. Adderley.
Mr. Vicalja, this one's also here for, it's 2, 3, and 4, all three of them.
Yes, ma'am, if you would please state your name and be sworn.
Yes, good morning. My name is Arlinda C. Adderley.
Raise your right hand.
Oh, sorry.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Adderley, what are the extenuating circumstances you would like to tell me about that would warrant my consideration or reconsideration of these fines?
If I may, staff met with the owners and in the office, and we came to an agreement to reduce all three properties that have the same parcels for the sum of, it was a total of $50,074, and reducing it down to $5,000. And I have a breakdown on each one if you want to hear that.
Is that your agreement?
Yes, sir, at that time. But then later I was informed that there were other liens that were non-negotiable in regards to a price reduction. And those were in regards to the lot clearance. And so I was not informed about those until after I attended the
All right, so does that mean we're back to square one?
No, we'll say that lot clearance liens are not within the magistrate's jurisdiction to be able to adjust. That's something that's, there are actual service liens that only if there was a public purpose, the commission could, and generally would only be, if anything, interest at all, and there would have to be something applied to the city commission because they are actual service liens, and we can't provide relief to a citizen on a tax because of that circumstance. So I don't know if that changes anything, but that's the information. Those are separate. So the only thing that we were able to bring before the magistrate for consideration as it relates to lien review under the authority of the chapter, which is Chapter 162, would be the code enforcement liens, which is what they're bringing forward.
Yes, sir, and that's understood. I was looking for possibly a further reduction on those liens.
Sounds like that's over my pay grade. So, with regard to lien review 2, 3, and 4, do we have an agreement or not?
What are the options if I did not?
Take the agreement or you're going to get hammered by me.
Okay, I'll take the agreement, sir. Thank you for your time.
I mean, I don't mean to be rude.
I understand.
This was a very minor thing that could have easily been resolved. And when you end up with a lien like this, it's because the city's got its feelings hurt because they've been ignored. And so the work is not only not being done, the city's being ignored. And for it to go on as long as this has, almost evidences a bit of contempt, if you will. I'm just being informative here. So my point is, you're better off with, bottom line, you're better off with your settlement than talking to me.
Understood, but I just wanted to bring clarity to my time of ownership. I acquired it through a tax deed sale or auction, and I was not the owner during the previous years, which is understand those liens do transfer to me, but that was unbeknownst at that time. But nevertheless,
Hear that now and then.
Yes, sir. But nevertheless, when I was notified by the Inspector Boswick at that time, I immediately called. I received the letter actually on a Saturday. I called him as soon as I received the letter, which was a Saturday. I left a voice message and was looking to understand what this was in regards to, because this was my first purchase. Although I call here home, I'm not originally from here, and I didn't understand all of the
Tax liens
requirements.
are a dangerous area.
I understand that now financially, and so that's why I was looking for further reduction, because upon being notified, I did immediately do what I could to make the correction. I mean, if someone could have came out there to declare the lawn the day I received the citation or the certified notice with the citations, I would have done it that day. If I could have done it myself,
For the sins
I
of your
would have.
predecessor.
Sir?
I understand you're paying for the sins of your predecessor.
Yes, sir. And so I was just looking for
Unfortunately,
understanding.
in tax lien area, that happens.
I will say, Mr. Vakelja, based on the breakdown that the city is proposing, it would be substantial, as I'm sure you realize. It would be $1,500 on a $20,000 lien, another $1,500 on an addition, another $20,000 lien, and $2,000 on what I believe is a $30,000
For your
lien.
edification, these are basically administrative costs.
Okay. Understood.
I'm going to bore you with a story.
I'm prepared to listen. Thank
I
you.
have a client, Chinese fellow, doesn't speak a lick of English. Bought himself a house over there on either Derbyshire or Berkshire for he and his family. Nice modest house. Paid $112,000 for it. Lo and behold, he gets sued by somebody who purchased a tax lien for one half of his property. His house is actually built on 2 lots. He was deeded 1 lot. He didn't know that there was a tax lien for the other lot, and now he has to either move his house or pay through the nose to whoever it is that's holding the tax lien. So tax liens are interesting things, but they can be dangerous. In any event, all right, so what is the final amount that we're talking about, the cumulative amount?
5,000.
$5,000.
All right, I will agree to reduce all 3 of these liens to the sum of $5,000 if they're going to,
Yeah, our preference was just to break them down for a
want them
minute.
broken down, or is my order going to require them to be paid cumulatively?
For you guys.
I'm sorry, say
Well,
that
it doesn't do
again.
you any good to get rid of one of them.
No.
No. Okay.
I mean, well, yes.
Just
You said get rid of one of the fines?
Well,
They'll still cross encumber, so yeah,
Yeah.
Cumulative is fine.
all right, with regard to lien reviews 2, 3, and 4, I will reduce the total amount due under the respective orders for fine lien down to the sum of $5,000, subject to being paid within 30 days. If it's not paid within 30 days, the liens will remain as they are, unaffected by this proceeding. If you start running short on that time, you contact the city attorney,
Okay.
and they will work with you to the extent that they can.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Lien Review 5, Bevel Commercial LLC. Jonathan Moshe, or Moshi.
I'm here.
Yes, if you would please state your name and be sworn.
Yes, it's Elise Ginsburg.
All right, are you an attorney?
No, I am the assistant manager to the CEO.
Okay, and you have authority to speak on behalf of the respondent?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you would please be sworn by our secretary.
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Your name again?
Elise Ginsburg. Do you want me to spell it?
Yes.
It's Elyse. and then Ginsberg, Ginsberg.
Okay, Ms. Ginsburg, what are the extenuating circumstances that I should take into consideration?
Yes, so we did fix the potholes in the time that was needed for them to be fixed, and we used the same inspector throughout it all. And once we did fix the potholes and we tried getting in contact with the inspector was not responding. And then we also were told to fix a bunch of other things, which we did fix along with that, like a bunch of other cosmetic issues as well. So we are just looking to get it reduced.
Okay, what say the city?
I'm sorry, what was that?
This case was opened on April 10th, 2024 for potholes in the exit driveway and came into compliance on May 21st, 2024. There had been a previous case that was not before the hearing back in 2023 for the same issue. Code has had
What
numerous...
property is this?
It's the plaza on the corner. This is a good example. This is the plaza on the corner of Nova and Bellevue. Bevel, I'm sorry. Walmart would be across the street.
Okay.
And what this slide here depicts, the entrance drive is owned by South Nova Partners, LLC. And as you can see, it has been paved due to them having problems with their entrance drive. The exit drive is the one that is owned by Bevel Commercial LLC. And you can see by some of the photos that are attached, we're already having the potholes come back. Because all they did was, do a cold patch, or in some instances, they patched it with concrete. But it's already breaking up. This is an ongoing situation. Staff recommends no reduction to the lien, and we will I'm sure be opening a new case in regards to this because they have not yet corrected it in the method that needs to be corrected. This is what the entrance drive looks like that is owned by South Nova, where they repaved the whole entrance drive.
You're saying the compliance was not only late, but also very minimal, and in fact, it's nothing more than a Band-Aid at best?
Correct. What they did is, when it came into compliance, they had gone ahead and done patching to it, and the inspector put it into compliance. But it's already coming out of compliance, as of the photos that show.
Am I able to say something?
Go right ahead.
Since the inspector did put it into compliance, shouldn't we be able to get it reduced, since that was the inspector that was the one that put it into compliance?
Well, the problem we have here is that while technically you ultimately came into compliance, you were late doing so, and you only came into compliance by doing a crap job.
Okay.
And it sounds as though Bevel Commercial LLC is going to be back here on this same issue again very shortly, because I'm now seeing current photographs of the driveway deteriorating again. All right, the lien review request is denied.
Yes, sir.
Good luck
Thank
to
you.
you. And I would advise your employer that we need to attend to this and we need a permanent solution.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. You too.
All right, do we have any other business to be brought before the special magistrate?
Oh, yeah. I have a new attorney I wanted to introduce. David, come on up here. If that's okay, Mr. Vicalja.
Absolutely.
Another Dave Dixon. He's a new attorney in our office.
Nice to meet you.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Good to
He'll
meet
probably
you.
be doing, at some point, possibly some of the code stuff, if not all of the code stuff, but at least some of it. He's pretty
Very
much
good.
my replacement.
Good for you.
With the, what I was doing with, as the legal advisor.
Where are you going?
New legal advisor. Well, I'm deputy city attorney. I'm not legal advisor.
Oh, definite city attorney.
But I've been that for a year. We just hadn't been able to make any kind of real transitions, and it's not going to happen real fast on David either. We're going to make sure he works his way in.
Nice to meet you. Good luck.
Nice to meet you, Your Honor. Just
Nice to meet you.
slowly creeping up behind Mr. Jack.
I think you're about, what, 3-4 weeks now?
About
4
yeah.
weeks?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very good. Good to meet you. How is our code enforcement board doing these days?
Well, Mr. Weatherhouse used to be on the board. That's came in. The board is he was able to see the board. The board is doing fine. they're the board.
I'm flabbergasted to see Americanos in compliance.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I just look at those seawalls on the beach as just an endless pursuit.
I found it funny because the first thing I looked at was like, I flipped over. I said, that's Americano.
Yep.
They store?
All right, well, I don't want to
So
hold
that's
y'all.
the question, but you asked it.
Very good. We're adjourned.